My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We have two last-minute replacements for UFC Vegas 46, and the second of which is Charles Rosa has stepped up to fight TJ Brown. Interesting matchup here. This is a very different matchup than TJ Brown originally had. TJ Brown originally was supposed to fight a striker, and now he's fighting a grappler on short notice. Very interesting. TJ Brown is 15-8 overall. He's 3-2 in his last five, coming off of a win over Kai Kamaka. Charles Rosa, short notice, 14-6 overall, 2-3 in his last five. He's alternating wins and losses, coming off of a loss. TJ Brown's an aggressive striker with solid volume and a great pace. He's also a good grappler. He averages 4 takedowns per fight. His takedown accuracy is at 58%, but he has no problem dropping back down and taking multiple shots before he gets one. He misses one. He's not a chain wrestler where he'll shoot a takedown, grab the legs, transition. He'll get an entry, may not get the takedown, come back up, reset, and then shoot again. It's a little different, but he will shoot those takedowns and look to get those takedowns. Charles Rosa, short notice opponent, but he is training at Sanford MMA. He does take his career very seriously. I have to assume he's in shape and ready to go. He's a very good grappler. His takedowns are just okay, though, and his boxing is decent. His BJJ is great, but in some cases, he's BJJ or bust. He either submits you or that's it. He's going to lose himself a decision. In most fights, his grappling can get it done. If you go back to the Justin James fight, he was dominating for 2 full rounds, and then James had him pretty much knocked out on his feet, but then James decided to shoot a takedown instead of trying to finish Rosa on his feet. And the reason I mention that is because although Charles Rosa is tough and he has phenomenal BJJ, he can get into some real trouble on his feet at any point in a fight. At any point in a fight, he can get into some trouble on his feet. The biggest problem for Charles is while he needs to grapple to win, he doesn't necessarily win off of his back. So he's very good at BJJ, but if somebody like TJ Brown takes him down and stays on top, Charles isn't going to throw up a triangle, throw up an armbar, create a sweep, and then submit from there, right? When he's on his back, he's controlled most of the time. So he would need to initiate a takedown to get the win. And to get those takedowns, he only has a 30% accuracy, so it might be a little tricky. This is an interesting situation. I mentioned earlier that TJ Brown was preparing for a striker, and now he's fighting a very good grappler. I imagine TJ was working his takedowns and a heavy wrestling game plan anyway, because that's how he likes to fight, and he was fighting a striker. I still think that his game plan here can be the same, right? Initiate takedowns, mix it up on your feet, shoot a takedown. And when he's on top, he just has to be careful. But if he ends up on bottom, he could end up in some trouble here against Charles Rosa, because Charles Rosa is a very good grappler, especially on top. He can control you, he can work positions, he can keep you there, and he can eliminate, any threats that you may have. And he is a veteran with veteran savvy. I see TJ Brown winning a competitive decision. I think Charles Rosa is in this fight, but he's very tough. I don't think he'll get put away. I think TJ Brown wins a decision. I think there's a bunch of takedowns, a bunch of control, and he'll win a decision. And from there, and I'll probably look at a prop bet for TJ Brown to win by decision. And DraftKings, I mentioned this before, it's amazing. They don't change the fighter prices even when they get a new opponent. So TJ Brown was an underdog. So he was priced at $7,100, a pretty big underdog. Now he's a good-sized favorite, more than a 2-to-1 favorite, but DraftKings did not change his price, so he is still only $7,100, and I absolutely love him at $7,100. I imagine there's going to be takedowns, tons of control time. He's going to score a ton of points. $7,100 is absolutely amazing for TJ Brown this matchup. Charles Rosa, $6,800. If you're doing that, you're chasing the submission, and it's possible, right? He's very good jiu-jitsu. That is very possible. I don't see it happening, but $6,800. That's the only reason you would do that is you think Charles Rosa would get yourself a submission, because his takedowns aren't good enough to end up on top on his own. He would have to really come out there and be relentless with that. Interesting matchup, fun fight. Another late last-minute replacement. I imagine Charles Rosa takes his career seriously. He's in shape. He's ready to go. So if he does gas, it won't be till later. But fun fight. Let me know what you guys think. And we will see you on Saturday for our pre-fight live breakdown.